Hi creative friends, this is Soraya and thank you so much for being here. So what I did in this spread in my studio log is I cut up pieces of my exercise. So this was from my monochromatic exercise where I used the orange and the black and the white, the sun over here, and then this was my lady that I showed you guys, and then I just made some marks over here. And what this is this is basically me just cutting up my paintings and my drawings and parts of my art journal from, say, present day, a few years ago, 10 years ago, whatever, and now I'm like sticking them onto the page. And then now I'm gonna write on my page. I'm gonna speak verbally to my art. And basically what I am discovering is that this is just a new way of accessing deeper layers of my art, of my emotions, of my visual language, and I'm just gonna explain it in point form. So one of the things before I dive into this video that I just want to share about me starting a YouTube channel specifically is that a lot of times I guess like different social media apps are just, they lend to different ways of working, right? Like, so Instagram, before Reels, it was like photographs and writing, which is it's more static, right? So what I mean by that is you can go in, you can edit things, you can, it's just a different way of communicating, right? But with my YouTube channel, it's like completely different, you guys, because I do not edit my videos. So, the whole thing about perfectionism and, oh my God, I should have done this and I should have said this and this was not right and whatever. Sometimes especially when I first started, I wouldn't post a video because I was like, oh, it wasn't, it didn't meet all of those standards. But as I've gotten more into making videos and whatever, sometimes what I'm seeing is that the gold is in all the messiness, because creativity is not like this neatly placed thing where like everything makes sense and everything works and you figured everything out. At least that's not the way it is for me. So I can only speak from my perspective and from things that other artists and creatives have shared. Like, creativity is a very messy process. It's like, yeah, it's not perfect. There's no perfectionism in it. And sometimes the things that we learn the most are the things that are imperfect, right? Like, so when I first started my YouTube channel, I don't know if I would have shared this hand, because I'm like, oh my God, this looks terrible. It doesn't even look like a hand. And oh my goodness, like, oh, la, 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 and I would, like, my inner critic would come out. But now I'm like, well, no, it's actually just, it's just part of what I did, right? It's a documentation of where I am right now. And maybe when I keep on practicing my drawing of hands, maybe a month from now, 6 months from now, it's going to get a little bit stronger. It's going to get a little bit more to where I'm like, oh, okay, it's communicating what I wanted to communicate. But right now, this is a testament to where I am right now, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's okay. So I think there's a lot of value to be gleaned from just showing up as we are, right? So anyways, let's get back to my my video, right? So one of the things and I'm gonna present this in point form, but one of the things I'm learning is that when I am combining, like, say, different parts of my work. So this was not all part of one exercise, right? This is, this was one exercise, this was something else. And, and now I'm also looking at going back, like, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, whatever, and then mixing stuff with my present day work, right? In my studio log. So what this does is my studio log now becomes a rich, fertile place, a vehicle for gathering all this information, all my stories, my visual language, my, little fragments and memories and this and that, little marks from, whatever, maybe a little note that I have that I wrote down 5 years ago, whatever. It's becoming this kind of like a cauldron, okay? A compost, if you will. So number one, the first point I want to make is that each drawing, painting, exercise, page, art journal, whatever, it contains important information about my visual language and my creative journey, right? And when I cut it up and I reassemble these fragments of my own work, I'm preserving these moments and I'm allowing them to become part of a larger visual narrative. So it's not about the one painting anymore. It's about the entire journey. It's about what I'm learning. It's about, seeing that, did something stay the same? Did it change? Because maybe I wouldn't have liked this. I just did this like a few days ago, yesterday, whenever. I may not have liked this like 5 years ago. I might have thought, there's no color in it. I don't like it. But now I love it. I'm so drawn to it, right? So I'm able to kind of see what has stayed the same and what has changed. And that just gives me more understanding about my own work, what I love, and it also gives me a deeper entry point, right? And it gives me a place to say, hey, what do I want to keep? It's the seeds and the sorting, as Dr. Estes would say, right? Number two, by placing these fragments together, I am creating unexpected connections. And these fragments can now communicate with each other, and they can reveal stories and themes that may not otherwise be consciously apparent to me. I may not be able to see them, to understand them, to put those two pieces together. Like, I did these separately, but just say like I combined something from 5 years ago. Well, I'm combining something from present day, which means that I'm a different person than I was 5 years ago. Therefore, my art is different, right? I'm combining something from present day with something from 5 years ago. Well, those two pieces are going to connect with each other in a way that I couldn't have done 5 years ago because the present piece, the present me did not exist. So this is like really, really valuable. And I'm just starting to work this way. And it's just so exciting and interesting to me. It's really like igniting my curiosity, my passion. Now, number three, my studio log becomes a place where my past self and my present self can actually meet. Isn't that amazing? Like, it's not just about the art anymore. It's about where the earlier work and explorations can inform my present day work, my new ideas and new perspectives, and my current work can give deeper meaning to my older work. Like, I can look back on my work from 10 years ago and I can say, you know what, this looks really clumsy, but I really love this pattern over here. I really love this color combination. I really love what I'm trying to do over here. It gives me an appreciation, right? So it's like both, they feed off of each other. Number four, I think I'm on number four. I'm not quite sure. So through this process, I am strengthening my visual language by seeing things that I wouldn't otherwise see. I am seeing recurring themes and elements and colors and lines and whatever. And I'm also beginning to now well, for me, right, I'm delving into Dr. Estes in a deeper way, and Jung, and I'm being able to put all of these things together in a coherent whole, and I'm building my own signs and symbols, right? Because like, obviously, what something might mean something to me and it may mean something completely different to somebody else. So I'm a big, like, I love circles, right? A lot of people, they just love circles. I mean, it's a universal recurring symbol theme. They represent, the circle of life. It represents, so many different things, right? But in my Healing Ancestral Trauma art journal, what I saw happening was an oval. It wasn't a circle, it was an oval, and it was recurring. Like in so many of the pages and so many of the women, there were ovals, and they were usually emanating from the throat, from the heart, right? From this area right over here, but they were not circles. And then I delved deeper and deeper into it, and I got into Jung. And in archetypal psychology, circles and ovals are different. They share a little bit of overlap and similarities, but they are different in very important ways. And I was like, wow, I get it now, and I see why I am doing these ovals, right? So when I am now building up my own visual language, an oval might, there's a universal meaning to it, but there's also a personal meaning to it, right? So an oval might mean something different to me than it means to somebody else. We might have some shared elements, of course, because there's that collective unconscious, but now I'm building up my own signs and symbols, right? And this is helping me do it. And I think the most like what I'm seeing glimmers of is that my studio log is now becoming like a living, breathing thing, and it's becoming more about my entirety of my creative journey, and a place where I can ask questions and I can witness my growth and my discoveries and all the stories that I want to tell. It's just a new tool, right? It's a new tool that I now have in my toolbox that I can use to share my stories, to tell my art. And I'm so excited about it, you guys. So I would really highly recommend that you consider, like, you know, going through your stuff and cutting up little pieces of your own artwork and putting them together in new ways and just seeing what happens. It's like I said, I've just started working in this way. It's interesting, it's exciting, it's giving me the juice, right? So anyways, you guys, I hope that this video has been interesting and helpful and inspiring, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.